Hello and welcome to VOP Business Show. I'm Kayla Abraham. While the federal government yesterday has announced an increase in the prices of single-phase and three-phase prepaid electricity meters and declared that the hike takes effect from September 6. It announced this in an order released by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and jointly signed by the Commission's chairman, Sanusi Garba, and its commissioner, Legal, Licensing and Compliance, Dafe Akpene. In the order, the government stated that a single-phase meter will now cost 81,975 naira from the previous price of 58,661 naira, while the price of a three-phase meter was raised to 143,836 naira from 109,684 naira. This was, however, kicked against by power consumers who wondered why the federal government had continued to hike the cost of various commodities in Nigeria's energy sector. By explaining why it hiked the cost of the meters, the NERC stated that it was to ensure a fair and reasonable pricing of meters to both meter asset providers and end-use customers. It noted that the hike would ensure meter asset providers' ability to recover reasonable costs associated with meter procurement and maintenance while ensuring that their pricing structure allowed for a viable return on investment. It stated that the closure of the metering gap for the end-use customers was fundamental to the financial sustainability of the Nigerian electricity supply industry, as end-use meters provide revenue assurance to both the utility and their end-use customers. Well, the federal government yesterday disclosed that to eradicate poverty in Nigeria, there would be a reduction in the level of insecurity witnessed across the country by over 50%. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, disclosed this in Abuja while soliciting assistance from the Nigerian Air Force in the delivery of relief materials and palliatives to the hard-to-reach areas in Nigeria. According to a statement from the ministry, she made the request when she paid a courtesy visit to the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, at the headquarters of the Nigerian Air Force. Edu identified poverty as an enabler of insecurity, which had led to humanitarian crisis. She told her host that the Nigerian Air Force would be critical to her ministry's success in getting humanitarian aid to the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. Edu also sought assistance to deliver humanitarian workers, relief materials to remote areas, as well as the evacuation of Nigerians from areas under threat, both within and outside the country. She also pledged to capture the families of deceased servicemen in the poverty alleviation scheme of her ministry and requested for deployment of Air Force personnel to the ministry as desk officers for proper liaison. On his part, Abubakar pledged to cooperation and the partnership of the Nigerian Air Force with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation in addressing critical humanitarian challenges facing the country. While World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Shubham Chaudhary, has stated that public spending in the country is among the lowest globally. He mentioned this while making his keynote address at the annual Banking and Finance Conference in Abuja recently. His presentation noted that Nigeria's government expenditures are the lowest globally. He added that government spending is insufficient to close the infrastructure gap. He also noted that public investment spending in Nigeria lags those in other countries like Indonesia, Ghana, Egypt, and Kenya, and this has led to poor quality of and access to infrastructure. Chaudhary also stated that government revenues are one of the lowest in the world between 2015 and 2021, and low revenues are the key risk to fiscal and debt sustainability. He further noted that access to finance is abysmally low, which further restricts the private sector's ability to invest, grow, and generate jobs. In his keynote address, Chaudhary emphasized that for Nigeria to achieve steady growth and prosperity, both federal and state governments must take critical steps to ensure the country's security, political stability, and the rule of law. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, challenged the financial sector to move from 3.6 to about 9% growth of GDP. Also, the acting governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Folasho Donshonubi, stated that the sector's economic contribution to the nation was low and needed improvement. Now, the federal government last year lost the sum of 3.3 trillion naira gas revenue last year as a result of drop in exports due to low production, according to data obtained from a global professional body for the energy sector, the Energy Institute. The Institute, in its latest report on statistical review of world energy published in June, stated that exports of liquefied natural gas dropped by 1.6% to about 20 billion cubic meters last year, giving Nigeria less than a 4% share in global liquefied natural gas exports. The average price for liquefied natural gas in 2022 was $388 per thousand cubic meters, making it an estimated $7.8 trillion loss as a result of 20 centimeter shortage in production. Average dollar exchange rate to naira as of last year was also 424 naira per dollar. Estimation puts total revenue loss due to low liquefied natural gas exports to 3.3 trillion naira. Nigeria exports 3.7 billion cubic feet daily to global destinations through the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Limited and the West African Gas Pipeline. Daily gas production stands at 7.8 billion cubic feet, but 2.2 billion cubic feet of gas are reinjected daily. Meanwhile, daily gas consumption averages 1.5 billion cubic feet, 7 domestic and commercial applications. In 2022, global trade in liquefied natural gas set a record high, averaging 51.7 billion cubic feet per day, a 5% increase compared with 2021. The Minister of State for Gas, Ekperikpe Egbo, told the Gas Tech Conference in Singapore that Nigeria has sufficient natural gas reserves and can increase its production to more than 5 billion cubic feet per day by 2030. Now, the national president of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Dele Oye, disclosed that they are partnering with South Africa to strengthen ties and harness the collective economic potential of Nigeria and South Africa. In a statement, Oye mentioned this when he visited the South African High Commissioner to Nigeria, Thamsaka Mseleko, in Abuja, that added the partnership would drive growth and prosperity in the countries and on the African continent. Established in 1960, NANSIMA is the umbrella organization for various affiliate member chambers of commerce within Nigeria. Oye stated that the visit was to explore avenues to collaborate and share resources, leveraging their diverse cultural and socio-economic strengths. According to Oye, the discussions during the symbolic meeting centered on the establishment of strategic public-private partnerships that would promote innovation, technology transfer, and investment. Such partnerships are instrumental in catalyzing economic diversification, creating jobs, and driving industrialization. Oye noted that two countries can potentially become economic powerhouses on the continent. According to him, the visit indicated a strong desire to foster a profitable relationship between Nigeria and South Africa. Nigeria's crude oil refining capacity has further reduced to just 6,000 barrels per day, according to data obtained from the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. In its latest annual statistical bulletin 2023, OPEC noted that the country's capacity to refine its crude oil went from 33,000 barrels per day in 2018 to 6,000 barrels per day in 2022. The country's crude oil refining capacity was down by 33% last year from 5,000 barrels per day in 2021. According to OPEC, Nigeria has an average refining capacity of 10,600 barrels per day in 5 years, making it the OPEC member with the lowest refining capacity. There have been growing concerns over the country's continued importation of petroleum products despite having government-owned refineries. According to OPEC, Saudi Arabia currently has the highest refining capacity among OPEC members with an average equivalent of 2.6 million barrels per day. Algeria, Angola, Congo, Gabon, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Libya, United Arab Emirates, and Venezuela outperformed Nigeria's refining capacity between 2018 and 2022 in OPEC's data. Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited stopped the petroleum subsidy regime in June due to the cost the government was spending importing petrol. Subsequently, petrol prices jumped from 189 naira per litre to as high as 617 naira per litre. Well, the exchange rates between the naira and the US dollar, according to the data released on the FMDQ Security Exchange, the official forex trading portal, showed that the naira opened at 766.67 naira per dollar yesterday and closed at 771.59 naira per dollar that same day. Well, that's all on VOP Business Show and VOP TV. We would like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is Voice of the People TV, and on all the social media platforms at VOP TV Live. I am Kayla Abraham. Thanks for watching.